with us for since 2007. Yeah, please give her a round of applause. I mean, come on.
Thank you.
So you've been with us since 2007 with Tim, and obviously it's a unique dynamic being the co-head coaches.
Absolutely.
What's it like being the boss at home and at work?
The boss at home and at work. I don't know.
Well, take the girls out of it because they're really the bosses.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think the kids, they run the shop at home. No, honestly, if you were to ask anybody, Tim and I are such a good team.
No question.
And, of course, he's going to say I'm the boss.
He frequently tells me that.
Yes, but I'm going to say he's the boss, and I think that's just because we have so much respect for one another, and we trust each other so much, and it's just a joy to work with my husband. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's a dynamic that most people would say there's no way it could work, but with you guys, it works tremendously well.
Oh my gosh! Well, most people are like, "Oh my God, I could never work with my husband."
And I'm one of those people.
And they think we're weird.
Yeah, I'm one of those people who would never make it work.
Tim and I are like crazy weird, but no, it works for us. We love it, and we hope to be doing it forever.
Well, and you obviously played at a real high level. Tim played at a high level in MLS. How do you two translate what you learned as players, the coaching that you got, and what you at achieving at the highest level possible, translate that to coaching now? Yeah, no, I mean, obviously, like our experiences that we had at a high level definitely helps us as coaches now. I think it helps us see it from a player's perspective, which sometimes coaches don't always have. And it hasn't been too long since we've played. So we feel like we're in there with the team. And every time we make a decision, we're always thinking, okay, how would the players feel about this? And I think we get major buy-in from our players because they know we're always considering, what the players are thinking. So, yeah. Well, and you played for a lot of male coaches. Mm-hmm. But how important is it for this generation of female student athletes to have a female coach and a female mentor and role models and that which is what you bring? Right, and I think it's so important. I mean, I've had amazing male coaches, and I still have great relationships with my male coaches. But then, one of the best coaches I ever had was a woman by the name of Marsha McDermott. Yep. Actually, she's at Army now. She just got the job there. Yep. But you played with her in Carolina, right? Yeah, for the Carolina Courage. Yep. She was my professional team, and she was kind of one of the first coaches I had kind of on the professional level, and she held me to a totally different standard. Yep. And I wasn't used to that because my male coaches were more like, oh, Tiff, you're great. Keep doing what you do well. They just keep me happy. But Marsha was more like, wow, you're not very good at these things, and you need to get better. And no one really ever told me that, even at the highest level. Yeah. So she really made me accountable, and she taught me a lot about getting out of my comfort zone. And so I feel like I take a lot of that from Marsha and learned a lot from that. But having that female role model, I think, for me, and using my experience and talking to the players, I'm hoping that there's a level of respect when they look at me, because when we're doing something difficult or physically taxing, I want to be able to do that with them. I want to say, no, I know what it feels like. I've done it before. So I like for them to see me play or even train with them at times, so that there's that level of respect and know that I've gone through it. Well, and you have gone through it for a long time. What got you involved in soccer growing up in Northern California? Oh, it goes back to the family. Yeah, as it always does. Oh, yes. I have 3 older brothers, and they pretty much kicked my butt my whole life. And it was just me trying to keep up with them all the time, and I would lose and lose and lose, but it just fired me up because I just want to keep them beating. So even though I'm losing along the whole way, I'm actually progressing and getting better and becoming more competitive because I'm losing, and I just want to beat them. So it was awesome having 3 older brothers. Actually, my oldest brother is a Secret Service agent. Really? So, yeah, I mean, I have a crazy, got to be tough mentally to do that. Yeah, crazy tough brothers that I attribute a lot of my soccer success to hanging out with them my whole life.
Can you imagine a conversation at Christmas? I have a gold medal.
Right.
I protect the president.
Exactly. I think he might have you on that one. Yeah. Well, and how much when you recruit student athletes, how much do you see of yourself in a student athlete that you're recruiting, and what are you looking for? Oh, well, first and foremost, I mean, we want to look at the person. The student athlete is what they're all about and what their character is. And because I've seen a lot of players have a lot of talent, but without the right attitude, you all know, like, you're not going to go that far. Right. And so you can see a player that has some type of potential, but when you know that they have this specific
like certain attitude, you're like, you're not going to put the lid on that kid. They're going to impress you. They're going to be overachievers. So I love to find those players that, obviously they have to have a certain standard to play at this level.
Yep.
But when you see that player with that certain look in their eye and that attitude and that positivity, you're just looking at them going, in our environment, I know they're going to grow so much. And I've already seen it. I've been so impressed with so many players. And I do think that a lot of our players that come through our program become overachievers. And a lot of it is that's already in them before we recruit them. And that's why we're recruiting them. But then you stick them into our environment, and it's like sky's the limit.
Well, and we've seen development even this year with some of our players, especially with Christine. I mean, just exploding and just doing so many good things for us. How much is that driving you to even get better? Okay, let's find the next player who can do that for us.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we have some very talented players.
We do.
So, and they are very fun to watch, and a lot of our international players bring a different flair and a different level of soccer knowledge and education. They grow up watching the game, and it's their passion, it's their culture. Where in the U.S., it's not always the case for all the kids that we recruit. So it's fun bringing in a different flair onto our team where it is their culture, and they bring that passion to the rest of the team, and you can see it in the way that they play. So that's part of our style, is having that international piece to it, where those players are very technical. And so you've got a lot of international players that are very technical or very smooth and can knock that ball around quickly. And then you got some of our Americans that are just like those grit, and they're going to dig deep, and they're going to fight, and win that ball for Chris, and then pass it to Chris, and Chris is going to
Chris is going to do something special.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a really good balance. You need both. But it is fun to watch the players come in and watch how they progress and they buy in.
And they have. I mean, we've been knocking on the doorstep.
Yeah.
And certainly the last 2 years, especially, and this year we actually watched it in that corner over there.
Did you?
And,
heartbreaking.
Heartbreaking. I wasn't a whole lot of talking in my car ride home, to say the least. But what should we look for next year? And obviously we had a great first year in the league, but there's more work for us to do and accomplish our goals.
Absolutely. I mean, we didn't accomplish our goals. We want to win the A10, and so although we're very proud of our team and we accomplished a lot, going into a new conference and coming in pretty cold. We had that taste of the championship the year before, and so we want to win it. Yep. I mean, that is the goal. The players are already so excited. They're already talking about the fall. But what to expect? We're bringing in a lot of players that were key players from last year. So we did graduate a handful of seniors, but we have a lot of impact players that are returning. So Chris Granados, Courtney Conrad, and then we have some young ones stepping up. Yep. And then we always have we're going to have an exciting recruiting class too, and a couple of internationals that will be coming in. So I think you should expect us to be in that championship again. And
I like the sound of that. That's a good start.
It is our goal to win it.
It always is. And I think the thing that you and Tim certainly together bring is that passion and that feeling of, hey, listen, it's great to get this win. It's great, but at the end of the day, we're trying to win a championship.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's business for us. We're having a good time. Our players are having a great time. We're pushing them to get stronger, faster, fitter, better. But they are bought in. I mean, they were disappointed. Like, getting to the championship this year wasn't like, okay, great job, great season. They were bummed. Like, they want to win. And so I love that they are just as competitive as we are. Yep. We're all on the same page. And we want to get it in the fall. So
certainly makes off-season workouts a little bit easier, right?
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
They're tuned up.
I mean, it's a grind right now in the spring. But they've got their eye on the prize, and they know we have a lot to get after. And so I love their passion. They keep me going and their enthusiasm. So great team. I love them. I adore our team. So good group.
Before we let you go, I got one question. This is our Super Bowl edition. Do you have a Super Bowl? I wouldn't let Ed Greer give a Super Bowl prediction.
Okay.
I made him predict commercials.
Okay.
I'm going to let you predict team.
Well, okay, if I could just predict the team, because I'm not really.
That's okay.
Good.
You predict team.
Well, I'm from the Bay Area.
I know.
So I'm going to have, so I've got to go with the Niners. I mean, I'm from the Bay Area, San Francisco. I grew up watching them. So I'm going with the Niners.
All right. I can go with that.
That's pretty good. I want to just ask you this. They had a kind of a Super Bowl here, it seemed like yesterday, because Barcelona was playing Madrid. Mm-hmm. Are you amazed that, there's people lined up at 3 o'clock to watch that game yesterday here in the States, and you and I have talked a lot about kind of the slow education of elite soccer in the United States, but I feel like it's coming around.
It is getting there. It is amazing. And, I mean, obviously I'm following Twitter and social media and to see – and you know what? Even our players. You know, I was talking about these international players, but, you know, now a player that currently plays for us from Richmond is commenting on Twitter about the game. So I'm like, we're getting there.
It's a lot closer than it was.
It's so much closer and it's so much more exciting. Because whenever I go around, if I'm in a different country, I'm like, gosh, I feel like I should be part of this country. I feel so much the passion. I feel it. And
we're going to keep you in this country for now, though, I can tell you that.
No, but in the U.S., it's getting there. So it's exciting. You see Major League Soccer with the Women's League coming again. You know, I'm excited for that. So it's getting there.
Are you hopeful about the Women's League?
You know,
I mean, I know the first time around, it was more of the business model didn't work really.
It's hard to say. I'm always going to be hopeful, and I'm always going to I'm just going to hope for the best. I don't know enough about it. I mean, it's great that the federations are supplementing and helping out with the salaries of the international players and our Americans that have been selected. But you know, I hope so, because we have so many good players that deserve to have this, and more than that, this league is so important for the young kids.
It is.
Like your daughter,
no question.
She needs a role model to look up to. I needed those role models.
Yeah.
That's what helped me to get to where I got, were the role models. So more important, I want my daughters to have this league.
Yep.
So it's just important. It's so important. So I am hopeful.
All right, sounds great. Tiffany, thanks so much.
Thanks, guys. Thanks
Tim,
for having me.
Tim, thanks for watching the girls over there. There we are.
Barely managing
Thanks,
the girls
Tim.
over there by yourself, Tim.
Great job. Big round of applause for Tiffany Sahaydak.
Thank you.
One quick timeout. We'll be back and wrap things up here an hour with Ed, live from Home Team Grill and the Fan.